Tickets for Halloween Horror Nights just dropped. Let's review them. We're going to start with Orlando, and in Orlando, Halloween Horror Nights opens on August 29th. If you look here, single night admissions for the first weekend start at $103, then $107, and they kind of dip down in September. That's usually because there's a lot of crowds opening weekend. Now, the interesting thing that I saw immediately was that the premium Scream Night is coming back for 2025. So I loved the premium Scream Night. It's $375, so it is expensive. But if you are considering a tour, or you're considering express, or the crowds is not really something you can deal with, or you're not planning on going for the frequent fear every night, this really is an option you should consider. Basically, what you're doing is you're going a night early. So this is August 28th. It's one night only, $375. And what you do is, it's essentially you are there at the technical rehearsal. So there are still some kinks that the haunts are working out, but for the most part, everything works. And last year, this may not be true this year because things change, but last year there was a lot less crowds. So I actually got to do Ghostbusters, I want to say 5 or 6 times, because there was less crowds and you could go through the haunts multiple times. And then the food. So you are given samples of the food. Last year, it was basically the full portion size for whatever menu item that you wanted from the selection. You just go up to the cart and you just grab it. It's a crazy amount of food. And last year, they did run out of certain items pretty early. Like the marshmallow you couldn't get from Premium Scream Night, but most of the other items you could get. So if you're interested really in like tasting the menu items and going through all the houses and having less crowds overall, this is something to consider. So new this year, you're going to be able to wear costumes to Premium Scream Night. There are costume guidelines here and you still can't wear masks. But I mean, that could be like really cool. I'm just thinking about like the cosplay possibilities. This probably will be maybe the thing I will do this year because it's like so much better than going during regular crowds. If it gets really popular this year and then a bunch of people show up, that could change. Here's the Premium Scream Night, $375. But then if you look at the RIP tour, that is $370. So you might think it's like close in price, but actually the RIP tour, you need to have admission to the event. So if you think about it, if you're thinking of doing the RIP tour on one of these nights, say, then you'd have to pay $103 for the regular night admission, and you'd have then plus the tour. So it'd be $370 plus $103. So you're talking about like $475 or something. So the Premium Scream Night still is cheaper than getting the tour, but it's only that one night. So if you still want kind of that guided experience, then the tour is going to be the thing. Of course, it's a lot of money, like, minimum $370. And let's see how the prices are going up here. So for the RIP tour, looks like it's $410 for opening weekend again, which is like, wow. I mean, so look at these prices, like $410, $410, $420, $400. I mean, so basically most of the time it's over $400 on top of the ticket price. So I don't even know where they're getting the $370. I mean, this is like $460 for nights in October. Like, oh my God. Okay. So yeah, RIP. And again, the biggest thing with the RIP tour, you gotta want to break it down, but let's look at the Express first. So Express here, remember Express is like one-time Express entry to the houses. So that's $139 on top of, again, your regular admission. So you have to have regular admission, and then this is on top of that. So for the Express passes, you see again here on the opening weekend, like that Friday opening night is $160 for Express. Saturday is $180, Sunday $160. Okay, so you have RIP tour, and then you have Express, and then you have regular ticket admission. Okay, so basically, if I use some of the numbers from last year, say if a haunted house wait is 80 minutes, I think with Express you would expect to wait maybe 30 to 40 minutes, and that's with Express because Express is not immediate access. So you're paying for the Express, and that's like maybe half the line, and then the difference with the RIP tour is that is like immediate access, and it's like an agenda. So you get walked immediately into the houses. The pre-tour reception, I'm sure you've seen videos of these. It's basically just like an appetizer outlay. Sometimes there are items from the regular food and beverage carts, but not really. It's mostly like usually coffee, although last year they were actually out of coffee, and I was not happy about that, but that's a separate story. So coffee and regular beverages, fountain beverages, waters, and then you'll get like cheese and desserts and maybe a few like appetizer savory items. So it's definitely not like a big dinner, but you can make it dinner. So Express does not help you if you want to see Nightmare Fuel. I think all this depends on how much time you have to go to Horror Nights. If you're just going for one night and you don't want to risk it, then you might go for Express or the tour if you really have like a limited window that you're trying to get everything done in. The best value, of course, is always going to be if you can go multiple nights, and these are not on sale yet, but if you go multiple nights, then you can get the frequent fear pass. That's still usually the best value, because the best times to go, of course, is right at the beginning of the event and right at the end. So you can get there early. If you have a universal pass, you get there early, you go in early. You usually can get 1 or 2 houses done pretty quick, or you come in late at night. Like if I'm going to be in the area for a while, I can get a frequent fear pass with my regular pass, and I can just show up at midnight and then go from like 12 to 2. It usually thins out and you can wait a lot less and do the houses that way. So this year they have still the same 3 and 6 house tours, and it is a walking tour. So you're walking through the haunted houses, and you're walking through the haunts during the daytime when there's no effects lighting. It's just house lighting on, and there's no actors, obviously. So you're just walking through to look at the details. If you're somebody that likes to take pictures, or you want to hear about the story and really look at the details, this would be a good thing to consider. For me, I think I've done it either way, where I've done the tour before Halloween Horror Nights or like after. I like it before. That's me personally, just because, during Halloween Horror Nights, it's so crazy. Like there's so much going on that I don't always look at the details, and I like to go ahead of time and hear about them so that when I'm walking through the house, I understand. Now, what's interesting about the haunted house tour this year, last year it started really early, but this year it looks like it starts August 22nd, which is just a week early. And looking at the schedule here, I think you can see that it's only the 3 house tour that actually starts early. So here, see the 3 house tour. You can do the 3 house tour starting on August 22nd, which is a week early, and that's $95, $95, $95 for just 3 houses. And that's just, again, the walking tour for 3 houses. Now the 6 haunted house tour, see, it doesn't start until even the 31st, which is a few days after opening, and that one is $220. It goes $190 up to $220 or more depending on when it is. Okay, so here are the tickets for Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood, and this event opens on September 4th, so it does open like the week after, as usual. You see regular admission starting at $77, and then we jump right into Express. So they do not have an option for the premium Scream night here, but they do already have their frequent fear tickets on sale, so that's interesting. So Express here is like more expensive, but it does include the Super Nintendo World access from 7 to 10 p.m. But just note on that, it stops at 10 p.m. So you want to make sure you plan that out. But you can look here that the Express starts at $239 for that opening weekend. Like that's a number, and it jumps up here. The highest you're looking at is $329, which is later in October. So that's we discussed it already previously. It's just that one admission to all that. They do have Express Unlimited already on sale, which is not that much more expensive. So, that could be, it's only $279 versus the previous like $239. So for an extra like $40, you get to do Unlimited, which is crazy. I think that I would do that. So, if I had the money, I'm not going to, And then RIP tours, same deal as I talked about previously for RIP. You have that same Express is still a wait. Even in Hollywood, Express is still a wait, and the tours are just like walk you straight into it. And you see here that they do give you a meal, and then you get the trolley to the back lot. And that's a big difference, because of course the biggest difference between Hollywood and Orlando is, in my opinion, that the studio tour. And the Terror Tram is what it's called for Halloween Horror Nights. I think the Terror Tram is incredible. That's the highlight of my year every year that I go. And the Terror Tram, you usually have to get on the tram, take it down there. But if you're in the the RIP tour, then you get the VIP trolley that takes you down there. So you don't have to wait in the line for that and all that. So that's pretty cool. Prices here, looks like it starts off that Thursday at $419. in addition to admissions. That's $419 for just the tour, and then it goes up from there to $529 for dates in October. So that's a number. So here we do get a glimpse at what I think is the best ticket deal that will most likely come on sale for Orlando in a while, but isn't there yet, is the Frequent Fear Pass. So Frequent Fear Pass, regular, and you see the dates here. Pay attention to these dates. So I usually plan out what days I could go and then pick the Frequent Fear, because you might not get the Saturday or the days you particularly need. But there's regular Frequent Fear, and then the Ultimate Pass, which is going to have all nights, and that is $299 per person. So 209 again. That's a great deal if you have the time. Like if you live in SoCal and you can just pop down there at early or late and try and get in lower lines, that is the best deal, because it's $299, it's every night, so no matter what your plans are going to be, you can get in to those. But if you are okay, like if you do live and you're okay with these dates, $179 for all these dates here for the regular Frequent Fear Pass is also still a really good deal. Basically twice, 2 to 3 times the ticket price, and that means you can just show up whenever and you get the most flexibility. That way you can plan around other events, because there's so many events that happen in SoCal. So this was a really casual video. I just saw these pop up and I decided we should just talk about them. If you have questions about this, I've tried most of these ticket packages different years. If you have any questions or anything, just put them in the comments and I'll try and answer them. And so far, the announcement as of the recording for this, we're recording this on June 5th, and the announcement so far is Five Nights at Freddy's. They haven't confirmed that it is a haunted house, just something is happening. And then, of course, Fallout is going to be the haunted house for both of them. And I think that's already going to be pretty popular. I've seen some people already say it's not really horror related and they're kind of not enthusiastic about it. But the thing is, Fallout's really popular. It's the game, and it's, of course, the series, and season 2 is coming. So there's a lot there. Plus, it's post-apocalyptic, and I think there's a lot of innate horror elements that you could draw out. So I'm very excited actually for Fallout. I think that's going to be great. And I'm excited. I think the announcements will start rolling out pretty fast from here on out. So anyway, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this, please give us a like and maybe send it to somebody else. Bye.